Alright guys, I wanted to go ahead and put up a video with regard to our step-by-step directions. We had started it in class. So we had started this last week and we'd finished up today. And we did a little activity in class where you each had written up directions. You discussed it as a group and decided to nominate someone to implement those directions to see if we could get from our classroom to the lunchroom, something we do every single day, following your directions. And we've got, obviously, today's date, step-by-step directions. So we've got our memo. Today we tried to follow our friend's step-by-step lunch transition directions. We learned that specifics really matter, such as turning off the lights and who is to complete that task. Now we are upgrading our STEM step-by-step directions so that others can replicate our investigation. Our completed directions are due 10/25/19 at the beginning of class. So in class, we talked about the teacher directions, and I told you that I would fill in that part because there's some things that I do that you guys aren't aware that I do. And then you're responsible for writing the student step directions. So here we go. Teacher directions prior to test. So these are the things that I need to do in order to get ready. All right, teacher directions prior to test. Number 1, T1 for teacher directions, gather materials. T2, write out one multiplication fact from the weekly times tables on a non-sticky side of a 3x3 Post-it. T3, repeat step T2 with all facts 0 to 12 from the assigned weekly times tables. T4, arrange the Post-it notes in random order, not numerical. Example, 1 times 2, 1 times 6, 1 times 0. So we don't want 1 times 0, 1 times 1, 1 times 2. T6, and I highlighted this because this was in, or T5, turn Elmo on writing surface. T6 was one that I needed to add in there after we had done some of them in class. I realized when I was writing them in black for you guys so it's easier to read from the recording that we forgot to turn the projector on, so we're not really doing much without the projector on. T7, inform students that it is quiz time. T8, if it is a music quiz using smartphone, turn on Pandora app. T9, if non-music quiz, skip step T8. T10, locate Pandora station either in favorites or search for stations following directions of the app. T11, turn volume all the way up on the smartphone. So now we have teacher directions during the test. So this is all the stuff that I do prior to giving the test. Now let's talk about during the test. Place multiplication Post-its under the Elmo, right side up, one at a time for 10 seconds. T13, repeat step T12 for all multiplication fact Post-its. T14, if this is your second day of testing, repeat steps T12 and T13 in the exact same order that you did the facts for the first day of testing. Teacher directions after testing. Turn off music if music testing day. T16, if first day of testing, tell students to pass the quiz forward to the first person in the row. If second day of test, skip to step 18, T18. T17, the quiz collector brings the test to the teacher. T18, if it's the second day of testing, students are to pass the quiz to a close shoulder neighbor to assure no one has their own quiz once the teacher gives this direction. T19, teacher makes sure that no one has their own test by asking for confirmation. In our class, we do a thumbs up. T20, place the first Post-it note under the Elmo, right side up, the same order that you gave the quizzes. T21, write the answer on the sticky note. T22, allow time for the students to check both problems from day 1 and day 2. T23, repeat steps T20 through T22 with all Post-its. T24, inform students to write the number of the problems their peer got right at the top of the page above each quiz. T25, inform students to return their quiz to their rightful owner. Teacher grading. So T26 is call each student and ask for the score. It should be that they correctly answered most of the multiplication facts. T27, document and grade book for bookkeeping. Now we've got teacher data discovery. T28, lead discussion on data where students discuss if they did better with or with no music? With music or no music? All right, those are the teacher directions. It is your task to write the student directions. I hope this video helps.